Okay, after a long delay, it's time for Broken Triad Part 2, Tempest Isle. Meet up with Keeper Aleph on the other side of the portal. With a bit of luck, he'll know what needs to be done. It doesn't seem likely that Nyarsal will just go away and leave you alone. Put an end to his existence. If you manage to survive this whole business, find a way back home. This is a pretty involved and long mission, so I'm not sure I'll be able to do it in one part, but I'll do my best. There's the gate. There's the end of the gate that we passed through in the previous mission. Where are we? Some of this architecture looks familiar, almost like the Lost City, right? Anyway. Go up here. This is our ultimate objective in the mission, besides destroying Nyarsal. We need to find a way to reactivate the gate to escape. We're on an island in the middle of nowhere, and we need to get the gate going. But that'll come much, much later. The Celestial Gate. Every 3 months, a select few gain the wonderful privilege of journeying to a place where the stars nearly touch the ground. Every 3 months, when the moon is in the correct position, the Celestial Gate grants the chosen ones passage to Hyrule, the island of the sky. There they can spend the rest of their lives in the holiest of all cities, close to the gods. Those who get chosen are usually of higher standing, although their contributions to society are factored into the selection ritual as well. However, the Emperor, undoubtedly the most deserving of all, can never be chosen, as he must remain Karath Din to justly reign over his people. Oh dear. Skeleton over there. Sword in his head. What could that be about? Oh well. Upstairs too. I think that's the last one. Okay, gotcha. Where was I? Oh wait, I think there might be one more. Tried this once before, and it didn't go so well. But try again, so maybe I'll get it this time. Okay, I think that's the last one for now. Okay, this is a sauna, I think. We're in a bathhouse. Very nice new door texture. That goes to the platform with the impaled skeleton, but we can't get there right now. Need to find a way to open it. Luckily, there's a way to shorten this little objective a little bit. Since we have the staff of our reach, we can hit a switch that's behind the skeleton. I apologize for how spotty this is. It's really hard to aim with this. I thought I hit it, but... Okay, I got it. Okay, let's go back there. Courtyard of some kind. We'll leave that for a bit. Now what's this over here? Locked door, but we seem to need a kind of special combination to get through it, so ignore it for now. Not the most dignified way to die. Whatever. Let's see. There's that locked door again. I don't think you actually have to open it to complete the mission, but it's a convenience. Some nice looking jackal statues. Let's take this candle. I think that's all we can do here. This will, I believe, come into play later, this pillar, but, back in a minute. Open this gate again. Sorry. Not strictly necessary, but it's always nice to find secrets. Like I said, not necessary. There is no loot goal for this mission, only to stop the demon and to escape. Doesn't hurt to look, though. Doesn't look like there's any space up there, so whatever. Okay, we're in this courtyard again, and,
The elements are turning against us. Not a day passes without the ground trembling violently. The eastern shrine got completely submerged by the inexplicably rising seawater, and aggressive fire elementals have started appearing in the alleys of our city. I think this must be what happened to Karatden. Centuries ago, Vataran arrived through the Celestial Gate and died at its steps. What he managed to tell the priest before he passed away was very similar to what we're experiencing now.
so I believe Vataran was the very last emperor of the Lost City. But he ended up here, apparently escaping the cataclysm. slightest idea of how to move around. This goes to the temple, the forecourt, but it's blocked. We'll have to find a way around it. Uh-oh. Okay, he's dealt with. I think this goes to the market. Yeah, the market. Repairs, which we will definitely need. Occurrence is what the scroll says. Something strange happened while I was cleaning the upper floor of the palace baths. Without any announcement, Emperor Vosburek came rushing in and jumped right into the pool to take a shower under the waterfall. He lifted his face upwards, but remained unaware of my presence as the tumbling water was covering his eyes. Then after just a few seconds, he climbed out of the pool and headed off, muttering something about his friends showing him the way through the secret passage. I knew the priest put a special essence into the water, but I wasn't aware that it was making our emperor hallucinate. That's a clue for later. Just put that on the back burner for now. I think this is over the temple forecourt. Yes, it is. There are two plinth sword locks here. Have to find something to get through them, so let's go back. City Archive. Surely there's something interesting here. I believe there's a skeleton that's on fire here. Yes, there he is. Okay, good. Less I have to fight, the better. Anyway. Lock here, but luckily our picks can lock on this. Okay. Chronological list of Kyrule's emperors. Kadon Hareth, 126 to 178 CR. Verak Ro, 178 to 11 CR. Vasdaron, 211 to 272 CR. Tarak Bin, 272 to 325 CR. Pin Fell, 325 to 402 CR. Strelok, 402 to 471 CR. Vosburek, 471 to blank. Now, the primary objective is to find Keeper Aleph. This is the first of several runes we'll be seeing. Now, where are we? The Keeper compound? What could this mean? Well, let's read and find out.
Garrett, first of all, I want to thank you for following me. You are currently on the Tempest Island, so called by the seafarers because of the unnatural storm surrounding it. Before it became this cursed haven for restless souls, the island was called Kyrule. It used to be populated by the Kyrulians, a peaceful group of precursors who had come here by means of the moon portal, which brought us here as well. On the bright side, Nyarsal hasn't arrived on Tempest Isle yet, otherwise he would likely not be reading this. The moon portal has some curious effects on time. For you, it seemed to take mere seconds to travel from the museum to the island. In reality, the voyage can take from a couple of minutes to several hours or even days. It all depends on the moon's position the moment you enter the portal. Nyarsal, you, and I entered at different times. Thus we also arrived or will arrive here at different points in time. Since the portal works outside of our normal time, it can happen that somebody who stepped into the portal earlier will reach their position much later. At the time I'm writing this, I have been here for more than 2 days, and neither you nor Nyarsal have arrived yet. I only hope you get here before Nyarsal does. What you saw in Arkford was only the tip of the iceberg. I doubt I'd stand a chance against Nyarsal on my own, even though he's not yet in his complete form. Your immediate goal should be to follow me into the necropolis, the island city of the dead. The island is very unstable due to all the volcanic activity, and some of the corridors I took to enter the necropolis already collapsed. You'll have to find another route, most likely through the temple. Since I don't know if and when we'll meet in person, I placed several books and notes throughout the sanctuary for you to read. They should give you a better understanding of my perspective on the situation. I won't leave any notes on the island itself, since they might be found by Nyarsal if he arrives before you do. Keeper Aleph.
Okay, basically, this whole Keeper compound thing, it's all a construct of a special glyph that Aleph used. It's sort of a hub world for some rapid transit around the island, because this gets really complicated. Here's a special item. It functions as a key. It's called a star gem. The last few times I played this, I'm supposing it's because of the engine changes with New Dark. I've been able to use the same key more than once. So I may be sequence breaking, but we'll see. Sorry in advance.
Garrett, what you see around you is the effect of a sanctuary glyph. Normally, the glyph creates a stationary protective bubble wherein a keeper is safe from any of the outside world's hazards. However, when I invoked the glyph, it created the sphere of reality, a remarkably accurate replica of the keeper compound where I'd studied for most of my life. I believe the compound must be a recreation from my memory, because only those rooms are accessible where I've been before in reality, and only the books that I've actually read have writing on them. I don't have an explanation why this happened. I can only assume that the paranormal storm surrounding Tempest Isle altered the sanctuary glyph's effect. In any case, this strange incident certainly works in our favor. I've invoked several sanctuary glyphs at different locations on Tempest Isle, and they all lead to this compound. This should enable you to travel quickly from one glyph location to the other by using the sanctuary as a hub. You'll notice I've also created several impassable barriers which look like giant keyholes. These are security measures that should prevent Nyarsal or Leonard that should prevent Nyarsal or Leonard from just waltzing through the sanctuary in case he discovers one of the glyphs. The barriers will disappear with each new glyph, and you'll find a Tempest Isle. found and used all the glyphs, you'll be able to access the entire Keeper compound. Since the sanctuary is only a spell, you cannot take anything that's part of it. However, items from outside can be dropped and retrieved here without a problem. I did so with the star gem lying next to this book. Although throughout Hyrule, you'll find small alcoves where you can insert one of these gemstones. The gems are a source of energy the former inhabitants of this island used to power various machinery. Keeper Aleph.
Better check my map.
So, get a map. Here's a rough map of the city. I marked the spots where you can find a sanctuary glyph. The other glyphs are in the city of the dead. Like Aleph said, we're supposed to follow him into the necropolis, which can be accessed through the temple. I hid one star gem in the palace garden's east tower. If you can't enter the temple from the Hippostyle, try the south entrance in the forecourt. So in the previous mission, we weren't sure if we could, after being betrayed by one keeper, we weren't sure if we could trust another, in Aleph, but we can, it seems. So back to the island. And as he said, when we find another glyph, those keyhole barriers will disappear. Yes. There's reach through the window to get that key. Now we just need to find out where it goes. Get to the higher parts of the market. Found a secret. Not strictly necessary once again, but gives us loot, and that's always good to grab. Get back to the other side and proceed with our mission. Oh, no. Let's see. How did I do this before? Interesting red mushroom there. Oh, hell. Maybe there's a different way I can do this. Maybe I can jump on that light. Yeah, there we go. It's kind of a cheat, but it works, so I'm going with it. Another scroll. Entering the palace. Wait, Han. You must be mad thinking of profit when the city is crumbling around us. If you really must get inside the palace, try the name of Hyrule's first emperor at the entrance. I have no idea how the treasury can be accessed, though. Some say you have to set another pattern of hieroglyphs at the entrance. Even if you find a secret passage, its magical nature requires a particular way of navigating it. The only person knowing it, how it works, is sitting on his throne with a sword protruding from his head. Thönen. So, the skeleton we saw before is Vosperek, the last emperor of Hyrule and the last emperor of the Lost City and Caerhun as a whole. So we need to find the name of the first emperor to open that door.
And apparently the door also has something to do with the treasury, which is a bonus objective. Just a second. Okay. A treasury. Finding it sounds like a challenge, but passing up this opportunity would be a real shame. It would. Let's try to find it. Go back to that formerly locked room in the archive. Let's see. Kedan Haref. Okay, we'll write that down. Now somehow we've got to enter Kedan Haref's name into that strange lock by that fancy door, but they used a different language, so we need to find out what those symbols mean. Memory's a bit fuzzy, but I believe these doors are one of the entrances into the necropolis. We need to get there to find Keeper Aleph. I'm looking at the walkthrough. Honestly, I'll take even more time if I don't use it. Oh well, can wait for later. There's the code locked door. Need to find a way through it. Well, we don't know what the Emperor's name is in their language, so we need to find a hint. I don't think I explored some of those ledges and access through the window of the bathhouse. Oh, there's a star gem. And an urn. Okay, since we have 2 star gems, we can go to the forecourt and try to enter the temple. Oh boy, that was close. Just for something that comes into play later. As a hidden treasure. Remember that note that said that the last emperor, for some reason, stared up the waterfall? Let's do that and see what happens. Your eyes are now open to the unseen. And that looks like a scarab. Keep that in mind for later. Oh, wait, no, that goes back to... Sorry. Got a little lost. And it's very easy to get lost. This is a long and complicated mission. Those things might look wooden, but they're actually stone. I tricked myself a few times trying to do that. Look, there's one of those beetles we saw earlier. What could they mean? Oh well. They're harmless enough. Okay, we're at the back of the temple forecourt. Let's put our star gems in. Yeah, like I said before, they're supposed to destroy themselves once you use them, but I'm able to use them as many times as I want, so it's a bit of a cheat, but it's beyond my control, so I'm sorry. What's this? New item, a spirit fire arrow. I believe that's the entrance to the necropolis. As head priest and embalmer, I was of course among those who objected most strongly to the seafaring merchants setting foot on our island. When I heard they were trading goods they had brought from the ship, I fully intended to go to the market and put a halt to any barter going on. Ironically, when I arrived there, I found myself being mesmerized at an item the strangers had on sale. It was a hammer, most likely once used as an instrument in battle, which emanated an aura of inexplicable calm and salvation. I am convinced there is a divine nature surrounding this hammer that in some ways connects to our island. I plan on acquiring it, not for personal possession, but for further studies. I discussed the matter of the merchants with Emperor Vosperek. We agreed on drugging them and transporting them back to their ship. We're not interested in trading with other civilizations, and these hallowed grounds should not be desecrated by infidels. Head Priest Fuquan. So that explains the experience that that captain and his men had. Here's another piece of the sanctuary glyph. Dang. Okay. A practical guide to the known types of demons. False light. Many people who had been on the verge of death reported later that they had seen a bright light at the end of a black tunnel. In almost every account, this light is described as being of an intense glow, emitting peace and calmness. Clerics, as well as many scholars, agree that the light acts as a guiding beacon, which leads the spirits into the hands of the builder. A false light is an extra-dimensional demon with the unique ability to cunningly mimic this kind of light. Its enthralling glow lures the souls of recently deceased into a trap where the demon devours or enslaves them. Worlds that are contaminated by a false light commonly experience a dramatic rise in the occurrence of undead, as their trapped souls cannot find any rest. Fortunately, a false light is unable to travel between dimensions on its own, and thus cannot befall other worlds at will. Summoning a false light for item enchantment is only recommended for the very experienced spellcaster. A single item is too weak a binding to hold this demon properly. If at all, a false light needs to be imbued into a divided triad. The name false light stands for both the demon and the light it is radiating. Okay, so this just described our enemy, Nyarsel, who's also Leonard now, because the two fused together. Anyway, this is how he was able to get us to do what he wanted. He got us to open the inner seals by deceiving us. And if you'll remember that story Leonard told us, there were 3 items, a hammer, a sword, and a book, that were used to bind the demon, which was Nyarsel. We destroyed the book, so the triad is partially broken. Nyarsel has the sword now, so he seeks to destroy the last part of the triad, which is the hammer. And we've got to stop him before that happens. And we have a translation. Let me write this down, because I don't have the patience, or I... The top one is rare. Let's see. Bow. Maybe this is supposed to be, what you call it. Oh well, whatever. Don. This thing, this intimidating looking character who for some reason reminds me of Coco Pelli. Put that down here. This is taking too long, but like I said, it'll take forever anyway, so what's it hurt? Okay, this one is woo. There. One very similar to the first glyph, which is ref, which is Ray, but this one is ref. And this kind of looks like a beetle. And that's K. This thing looks like a cute bunny. Sorry, I'm drawing this by hand, because that's how I do this. This eye, the bunny is jaw. This eye is me. This crane, I think that's a crane. Is ha. And this reed, which I think I was trying to describe, which I think on the Don glyph I was trying to describe as a reed, Crozier, whatever, is this last one is lo. Okay, so we have a way to understand those glyphs or symbols that open the fancy door. I don't think it'll open the treasury, but it's helpful nonetheless to have it. Sorry. The last arrival. Notes of Healer Naza, second Sauday, 126 CR. This morning we made a gruesome discovery. Apparently the Celestial Gate had been activated during the night, 2 weeks before the next reception. As a result, the unfortunate man who tried to get through only arrived partially. Lying at the foot of the gate, we found an arm and a leg, both cut off, as if a sharp knife had gone through them. This is one of the dangers of the portal. If the moon is not in the right position, travelers run the risk of being torn apart during the voyage and having parts of them arrive at different times. This is why the reception ceremony only takes place 4 times a year. At days precisely calculated by Thönen and Cadril's astronomers. As for the traveler's identity, we cannot be sure for now. He was wearing an intricate ankle collar that suggested him to be of a higher standing. But otherwise, we can only wait for the rest of him to arrive. As dreadful as this may sound. 7th Sauday, 126 CR. Several healers, myself included, were positioned at the portal to await the unfortunate traveler's arrival. Yesterday, the remaining body came through, and to everyone's shock, the traveler proved to be none other than Thönen, Karadin's emperor himself. We did our best to aid him, but he was too weak, and with 1 foot already in the afterlife. During his last few breaths, he tried to speak to us, though his voice was no more than a hoarse whisper. From the little we could make out, Karadin was on the verge of destruction. Thönen mentioned the anger of Nalahotep, and that the priests had tried everything to appease the earth. Nobody else arrived that day, and since then the gate has remained dark, which likely means the other end has been destroyed. Thönen must have tried to escape the cataclysm by entering the Celestial Gate. Vizier Kedon Haref announced a year of mourning for our emperor and the fall of our great city. As Thönen is no more, Kedon Haref will now ascend to be the first emperor reigning in Hyrule. We just hope our brethren in Karadin were able to escape with their lives. It is quite clear Thönen was acting out of desperation. It is not the Emperor's place to step through the Celestial Gate, as tradition dictates that he has to stay with his people his entire life. Although we cannot communicate with our brethren in Karadin, it became apparent to us already at the beginning of Thönen's reign that he was quite fond of wealth and was not a man of the people like his predecessor Thönen had been. It was only a matter of time before the gods would show their resentment. There is a way back through the Celestial Gate, if the 3rd gate in Karadin is still intact. But since this is a one-way path, nobody would be able to come back to Hyrule and tell us what has happened to our home city or brethren. Okay, so there's another gate that's still intact. We can probably reach it through the one at the beginning of the mission, when we arrive through, but we have to activate it first. There's another beetle. Let's see. Creepy altar. Needs something to open it. Looks like it needs something elaborate. Necropolis. Hindar. Moving the sacred fire elemental away from the market and closer to the palace is out of the question. I thought you knew that the elementals only remain stable where they've been shaped. Remember the fire elemental that went rampant 5 moons ago? It happened because the pedestal had moved by accident. That is why we shaped this one near the water and away from the palace. I know it's tedious, but if one of the palace
Alice's hallowed candles goes out, you'll have to bring it to the market and relight it there.
So,
Oh, 10 here.
so, we have to use a sacred fire elemental to light the hallowed candle to do something we don't know right now. But it's located near water, so it will be quite a problem to keep it lit. Okay. That's broken, so let's use this. Oh, good. Jumping over fire. Well, might as well get on with it. Whoa. Fancy sarcophagus. Guess we're on to something. Eesh, creepy. So, let's get down there. Can't use the gates. Let's see what we can do here. Elsewhere. Sorry. See what we can do elsewhere. There's another star gem. That's good stuff. Another one of those strange spirit fire arrows. Still not sure what. Still don't quite remember what I'm supposed to do with them. They might damage the undead or purify items. Can't really remember. Let's see. Another locked gate. Oh well. Let's go back. Which is actually a key for that altar we saw just a little bit earlier. Just gotta get back to that altar. That's not good. Better get out of here. Uh-oh. Sit down. Good grief, this guy takes a lot of hits. Sit down. Thank you. Uh-oh. Now that's right. The gate from before is open. Thank you. That's sit down and shut up. Okay. I think that's wood. Or is it stone? It's wood. Good. Difficult to tell. Let's get back to that altar. Pyramid key in place. That opens the necropolis. But if only it was so we need to... Oh dear. Strange sounds. So somewhere down here we'll find Keeper Elf. If only it was that easy.
I should be careful in here. There are likely a few traps around.
And the traps he's talking about will happen immediately. So let's circumvent them by pressing this button, which lowers the lift. That lowers. Okay. We have another puzzle. I think any of these will do. You need to recreate it on this panel here, but I believe you need to rather than pushing it in, as I would suspect you need to leave it out. So yeah, there we go. The light's on. Let's see if it works. It works. Okay, so we're nearing the tombs. We have a new enemy in these catacombs. They're undead, but they were intentionally made that way. They're called the Black Watch, and their entire purpose is to guard the catacombs. Or at least that was the intention. Someone's looking for me. Because of their transformation into the undead, their skin blackens. Now they're supposed to be totally loyal to the death. That's not quite the case, as the mission will show. Oh, someone's here. Some kind of robed ghost. My son will be a little more patient. Let him move past me. Okay, good. I'll get the, I think this is one of the Black Watch, and it's a priestess. I got her. Sounds like there's a fire element. I think I see him. Marked 2 when the scarab starts pushing the sun up into the sky. Okay, scarab is capitalized, so that's part of a puzzle. So 2 scarab. Okay. Good. Let's keep going. Oh, it's not a fire elemental. It's one of those, fiery skeleton warrior things. We got yet another star gem. The Jackal's Gate. When the funeral procession follows the last path south, it will pass the Jackal's Gate. As depicted on its doors, the gate will only open when one jackal can announce the procession's arrival to the other. Now, the last path there is part of a puzzle later in the mission. A guy creeping around up there, but both ways are blocked, so leave him for later, I guess. Garrett, please take my personal medallion with you. I've imbued it with a glyph that can transport you directly to the sanctuary at any time, no matter where you are on Tempest Isle. This very room used to be the place where I slept and studied. Just like you, I had been a kid with no parents and no home. I often snuck into the city's public library, not to steal but to read and escape reality, if only for a few hours. Eventually, a keeper found me in a section commoners were not supposed to see, and my passion for books brought me into their circles. Now that I think of it, maybe it was my fascination for worlds crafted by the mind that allowed the sanctuary glyph to create this place. As I'm writing this, I've discovered where we both need to go. In the western section of the necropolis, there's a long straight path leading south. The Kyrulians simply called it the last path. At the end of this path is the inner chamber, which leads to a large tomb containing the priests and healers' graves. All of the evil surrounding this island emanates from this tomb. And that is where we can put a stop to it. Okay. Gain access to the inner... okay. Find and use all the sanctuary glyphs on the island and Gain access to the inner chamber in the necropolis by following the last path southwards. Whatever Keeper Leonard told you about Narsel's origins, he very likely skipped over a few essential parts so you wouldn't get suspicious. Most importantly, the Mage Apprentice, who summoned the demon several decades ago, intended to create a divided Triad. This requires 3 items: a book, a sword, and a hammer. The spell backfired. The 3 objects gained influence over whoever owned one of them. Giving each item away to another merchant was the last shred of sanity the apprentice could muster before he killed himself. He knew that the Triad's items needed to be kept as far apart from each other as possible, as they desired nothing more than being reunited so the Triad could be broken. From this point on, the items traveled through many hands, constantly trying to convince their owners to search for the other objects. When the book fell into the hands of a scribe, it persuaded her to split it into 2 halves. This way, each volume could travel in a different direction while searching for the other items. The scribe named the first volume the Book of Illumination and the second one the Book of Souls. I know you're quite familiar with the latter. While the Book of Souls eventually found its way into the halls of the Dawn Mages, the Book of Illumination fell into the hands of the Keepers, which means it got shelved and soon forgotten as another ancient tome collecting dust in our vast library. Until Keeper Leonard picked it up, that is. Yeah, we've seen that before. Okay, we can go back to the sanctuary, since we have this medallion. That'll come into play later. Or you know what? I guess it'll come into play now, since we need to light that candle with one of those spirit fire arrows. Doors we saw before. Okay, let's go to the well, which I believe is near the marketplace. Where we can light this candle and use the medallion to circumvent the water, which will put it out. There's another scarab. Something opened, and it's the jackal statue. Yes, this is the fire element legend. Sacred fire element. It's lit. Obviously, we can't go back through the water, so let's use Alepht's medallion. Getting lost in this inventory. Oh, there we go. Another star gem. Now, from what Aleph said, we need to pass a trial, solve a puzzle. That's called the Last Path, which will lead us into the inner chambers of the catacombs, which is where the arsenal is going. Spirit fire plays an important part in many of our purification rituals, since its blue flames only burn negative spiritual energy. We can use it to cleanse our dead. If a spirit fire has been burning for a long time, it can sometimes form crystals. These crystals are very fragile and burst into an ethereal cloud upon the slightest impact. We believe these clouds have similar effects as the fire itself. Although without practical application, we cannot go beyond speculation. There's a hastily scribbled note on the back. I discovered that members of the Dark Watch and any undead attack their own when they are hit directly by a crystal. This may be our only chance to calm the necro. So theoretically, we can use it to disorient the enemy and make them attack themselves, but that's really more trouble than it's worth. The arrows do play a part later in the mission. Button over there. I don't think you need the staff to do this, but makes things easier. Again, it's very difficult for me to aim this because you pretty much have to have pinpoint accuracy. Yes, we found another pillar that's part of the puzzle to the treasury, I think. The perceptive eye will see the light. If I didn't hit it with the staff, I think I can hit that button by crawling onto those platforms on the side. Heavily locked door. Can't get it open in any way yet. Last path. This is part of the last path puzzle. We have to shoot a projectile or spell from this jackal's mouth to the other side, but there are panels blocking our way, so we have to get them open, which I believe that button that I was clumsily trying to open does. Let's open that. Just the thing to open it. The gate locked to that heavily barred door we saw before. Oops, sorry. Barred door we saw before. Let's use the star gem. Sounds like someone's coming. Through that closed, heavily barred door we saw before. See what's behind it. Oh, another scarab. Ah, hell. Damn it. Well. Do I have anything? I don't really want to use that until later.